Your cat might be doing this right now.
Huh?
All right. Time to get serious and hit the like button right now.
Imagine this. It's midnight. The lights are out. The entire house is plunged into utter darkness. No moon, no city lights leaking in through the windows. You stand in the doorway, unable to see your own palms. But your cat, he glides smoothly, weaving between the table legs, making a perfect turn near the bookcase, then leaping onto the sofa without a sound. No collision, no hesitation, no mistake. How is that possible? The answer isn't in his eyes glowing in the dark, nor are his ears swiveling like satellite dishes. The answer lies in something we take for granted, something we often pet and admire, but rarely understand. A mustache. 24 seemingly ordinary hairs, but in reality, they are the most sophisticated navigation system ever engineered by evolution in the 400 million years of life on Earth. Welcome to a world you can't see, but your cat can feel.
To understand why cat whiskers are so remarkable, we first need to debunk the biggest myth about them. Whiskers aren't just hair. Structurally, whiskers, or vibrissae as they're scientifically called, are made of keratin, the same material that makes up your nails and hair. But that's where the similarities end. While regular hairs sit in shallow follicles connected to only 1 or 2 nerve endings, each cat whisker penetrates deep into the dermis layer of the skin, 3 times deeper than a regular hair. At the base of that follicle lies a structure called a blood sinus, a pocket filled with blood and lined with over 200 nerve endings, ready to detect movement. Compare this to a human hair follicle, which only has a few dozen nerve endings. Think of the difference this way. If your fingertips are the best touch sensors on the human body, then each cat whisker is the equivalent of 10 fingers working simultaneously. And here's the truly surprising part. Cats don't need to touch anything to feel it. The free tip of each whisker moves through the air, and air, though it seems empty to us, is actually a medium full of information. Changes in air pressure as small as a millionth of a pascal, air movements equivalent to the breath of an ant, even vibrations caused by a mouse running behind a wall are all captured, amplified by the blood sinuses, and sent as electrical signals directly to the cat's brain. This is what we mean by living radar, a sensory organ that doesn't require physical contact to produce accurate spatial data.
Modern high-speed cameras have revealed something we could never see with the naked eye. The air around a solid object is never still. When a cat moves through a room, the air pushed by its body hits walls, furniture, and corners, and then bounces back. These bounces create what we might call an invisible pressure map, a kind of 3-dimensional print of the entire room written in the language of air physics. To understand how this works, we need to talk about a physical principle known as the Bernoulli effect. This principle states that when air flows through a narrow opening, its speed increases and its pressure decreases. Models of whisker follicles made from clay, which allow researchers to simulate how each variation in airflow speed triggers a different pattern of neuron firing, show that cats' brains don't simply detect wind or no wind. Their brains read airflow patterns like musical scores. Every variation in speed, every change in direction, every fluctuation in pressure becomes a note that forms a 3-dimensional picture. When a cat approaches a gap between 2 cabinets, for example, the air passing through the gap moves faster than the surrounding air. This difference in speed creates a pressure gradient that the cat's whiskers instantly detect, providing information not only about the gap's presence, but also about its precise width and height. This isn't instinct, it's a physical measurement being made in real time, every moment, without the cat even realizing it, by every cat on Earth.
The signals from the 200 nerve endings in each whisker follicle aren't just sent to the brain, they're processed in a specialized area called the somatosensory cortex. What's remarkable is its proportion. On a cat's brain map, the area dedicated to processing data from whiskers is disproportionately larger than the area processing sensations from the rest of its body. This means that from the perspective of a cat's brain, their whiskers are their most important organ, more important than their claws, more important than their tail, more important than almost everything else. But the cat's brain doesn't stop there. Data from their whiskers is integrated with signals from the vomeronasal organ, a structure on the roof of the mouth that detects pheromones and chemical particles in the air. The result is a map of the room that is not only spatially three-dimensional, but also enriched with chemical information: where prey is, where predators are, where fellow cats have passed. To give you an idea of how sophisticated this system is, let's compare it to the best technology humans have ever invented. The LiDAR, light detection and ranging, systems used in autonomous cars work by firing millions of laser beams per second to map their surroundings. Their resolution is incredible, but they require the computing resources of a small data center, consume hundreds of watts of electricity, and generate heat that must be actively cooled. A cat's whisker system achieves a similar function, even richer in information because it integrates chemical and pressure data using less energy than a small plate of cat food each day. 400 million years of evolution have created something that even the best human engineers have yet to match.
It's time to prove all this firsthand. In a tightly controlled experiment, an adult cat was released into a 10-meter-long corridor filled with 12 different obstacles, from cardboard boxes to wooden pillars, from hanging balls to thin glass panels, under zero-lux conditions. There was no light at all, no photons detectable by any retina. The result? The cat completed the corridor without a single physical contact with an obstacle. Not once, not twice, in 12 out of 12 trials. What makes this even more astonishing is how the cat adjusted. The phenomenon, which the researchers call tactile eye, is the ability of the whiskers to serve as a short-range guide when the cat is moving at high speed. As the cat approaches an obstacle in complete darkness, the whiskers on its muzzle, 12 on each side, begin a series of micro-adjustments. They move forward, fanning out like a fan, reading the air pressure patterns in front of the cat before it reaches it. These micro-adjustments happen in milliseconds, far faster than the conscious brain can respond. This means that navigating in the dark isn't a conscious act for cats. It's a reflex built into the spinal cord, a biological autopilot operating beneath the radar of conscious awareness. And it's not just static obstacles. When hunting in the dark, cats use their whiskers to track the movements of their flailing prey, reading the air pressure waves left behind by the fleeing mouse's body, then predicting its position a fraction of a second in advance to time their attack. Predation in total darkness isn't about luck, it's the most finely tuned precision mechanics ever devised.
Why did such a complex system evolve in cats and not other animals? The answer lies in a lifestyle called crepuscular, active at dawn and dusk, when light is most ambiguous and deceptive. For tens of millions of years, cats' ancestors lived in dense environments, dense tropical forests, labyrinthine thickets, winding caves. In such environments, sight alone is insufficient. Even the best night vision can't see around corners. It can't see behind leaves. It can't predict the size of a hole it needs to enter with a single leap. Those with more sensitive whiskers, those who could read their environment more accurately, those who could avoid obstacles more quickly, those who could catch prey more efficiently survived. They reproduced, and their genes, along with their super-sensitive whiskers, were passed on to the next generation. Millions of years of natural selection have refined this system to a level of precision we can't reproduce in any laboratory on Earth today. The reverse speaks volumes about how vital these whiskers are. Cats who lose their whiskers, either through accidents or unethical trimming, experience dramatic spatial disorientation. They bump into objects more often. They hesitate before narrow gaps they would normally pass through without thinking. They experience what animal behaviorists call a spatial crisis of trust, an inability to trust the environment around them. That's why trimming a cat's whiskers, a practice still practiced by some as aesthetic, is strongly condemned by the scientific community and veterinarians worldwide. You're not cutting hair, you're blinding one of these creatures' most fundamental senses. While humans spend billions of dollars and decades of research creating a near-perfect autonomous navigation system, the cat sleeping on your couch carries on its face a solution that nature has tested for over 60 million years. 24 strands of keratin embedded in a network of 200 nerves, a system that reads the physical language of air, a biological radar that requires no batteries, no maintenance, no calibration. It only needs one thing: space to move freely. The next time you see your cat walking confidently in the dark, remember that you're witnessing the most refined miracle of biological engineering ever to grace the planet, perfectly embedded in the most adorable face, and he has no idea how extraordinary he is.
If this episode changes your view of your cat or anyone you once considered ordinary, share this video with someone who needs to see the hidden magic in everyday life. In the next episode, we'll delve into another mystery hiding right in front of our eyes: why honeybees are able to communicate through dance, and how they build cognitive maps that are the equivalent of human GPS navigation. Until then, stay curious.